Okay, what I'm talking about here is a very important thing, and this is the biggest thing that you can do to change the sound of your drums for the better. And that's to do with hitting the centre of the drum hard. And it doesn't sound like it rocket science, but weirdly it's something most drummers don't seem to be able to master. If you get into the habit of doing this and really start appreciating how important it is, months before you come into the studio you're going to end up with not only a much better sounding record, but when you play live you're going to have much better sounding drums as well. So this is critical stuff, and you really need to get a handle on it. And it's just, just to demonstrate, if you hear on this tom here, if I go from the edge into the centre and then back out again, you listen to the change in tone and how lame it sounds at the ends. Now I'm hitting with exactly the same volume across that tom, but how awful does it sound at the edge? And you listen to each one of these toms, and I'm hitting that hard. If I hit with the same volume as I go through dead centre, it suddenly sounds like I'm hitting those toms a load louder, and they're really nice sounding toms. The same volume again. I'm getting more bounce, so it allows me to have more power, but more importantly, the toms just sound so much better. And something you can do, sounds daft, but it works, is on the centre of your toms, get a marker pen, draw a 2-inch circle, centre of each one of your toms, and concentrate as you're practicing through all these songs for the recordings, and every time you play your set, not to move out of that 2-inch circle. When you look at your drum heads, every time you've got a mark on one of your toms there that's not in that circle, you're failing at what you need to do, and that will have been a bad sounding hit, and that's where your drum's going to sound terrible. So you need to keep concentrating on hitting within these circles. Do all your exercises. If you're doing rudiments, do your rudiments across your toms. Any of your paradiddles, keep moving those across and work so that you always hit in the centre of that tom, and work on that a lot. Same with your snare drum. Just any of your drums. Kick drum's a bit easier because it's very hard to hit off centre on a kick drum. But with the snare drum, you just concentrate really hard on hitting the centre, keeping it consistent, keeping the hits strong. And with the snare, really work if you've got blast beats in your music. Make sure that you're hitting the blast beats hard, and that you're running through so that you don't go soft. We see a lot of players when they come in and they, even if I just use this tom for this, they're hitting this, they're coming through and they'll have their beats where they, they're going. And of course, that's not coming through, it won't come through the mics, it's not going to get picked up, and on the recording that's going to be terrible because it's just going to sound like you've just got kick drum and ride. So work on the wrist movement, work on your fingers, and make sure that when you go into a blast beat, again I'll do it on the tom so you can hear it, I haven't got the snare mic'd if you want to try and not hear the snare. When you go into that, you're giving it consistent, so you've got your you're getting the same power running through any of your faster sections, and it doesn't matter how quick you go, you can keep cutting that through because it's all about wrist movement, it's all about doing more with this hand, you can see it better, it's all about your wrist, it's all about your fingers. That's where it should be coming from. Your elbow shouldn't have to move for any of that stuff, and there's no reason, no matter what speed you're going that way, you can't put a lot of power into that blast beat. So concentrate on that so it's nice even powered strokes, dead centre of each drum.